Sneemaster!
Hi everyone, Sneemaster here with a not-so-quick review of the RSI Constellation Andromeda. The Andromeda is the first variant of the Constellation series from the RSI shipbuilder and first appeared in 2014 in-game for patch 2.0. It functions as a gunship as well as armored freighter and transport. It's a large ship at 61 meters long and 14 meters high. It has a crew of 4 or 5. The Andromeda has one large shield generator, 2 size 1 hydrogen fuel tanks, 1 size 2 quantum fuel tank, and 1 size 2 quantum drive. For such a large ship, they seem sort of small. Combat speed is 144 meters a second, and max speed is 911 meters a second. The Andromeda has VTOL engines, so that it can remain hovering for a long while without burning out the engines or using up a ton of fuel. It has a cargo capacity of 96 SCU, with an internal stowage of 96,000 micro SCU. For weaponry, it has 4 pilot-controlled size 5 weapon hardpoints, with gimbal size 4 laser repeaters. They have large capacitors. You can change the 2 upper gimbal size 4 guns to fixed size 5 guns for extra damage of large targets, but at the cost of losing the easy aiming against nimble targets. The lower guns cannot be changed out at this time. There are 2 manned turrets, one above and one below the bridge, both with size 2 laser repeaters. The turrets hide under armored shells until they are deployed. They are quick turning and have excellent visibility and firing angles. If you notice, they actually stick out a little from the ship, so you can get better lower or higher firing angles. They are not as powerful as the turrets on ships like the Mercury Star Runner, but they are very fast and have large capacitors, great against fighters. The Andromeda has 24 size 2 Strike Force missiles in the 4 upper launchers and 24 size 1 missiles on side wings that pop out. The upper launchers auto-load their missiles from the cargo bay. The missile launchers cannot be changed on the Andromeda, so you'll only have those size 1 and size 2 missile types. Sadly, you can't change them to anything larger, otherwise you'd be able to fit up to size 5 torpedoes, which would have been nice. The Andromeda always comes with a Kruger P-52 Merlin snub fighter that sits in the back of the ship, and can be used for defense or scouting. The Andromeda is $240 and is always available for sale, or you can buy it in-game for 3.5 million UEC at Lorville. You can also rent the ship for about 70,000 to 80,000 UEC a day. You can also get the Constellation Andromeda as a starter package for $275, which also comes with a Grey Cat PTV buggy and various hangar decorations, such as a fish tank and fish. You can also buy the Andromeda as part of other larger packages. The Constellation series has 8 other paints you can get for the ship, although some are only available during special events like Invictus or the Red Festival. The paints are compatible with other ships of the series. One paint you can't get is the shiny green emerald paint that is exclusive to the Phoenix variant only. The Andromeda is a large multi-crew ship that is divided into sections with doors, which is good in case of a vacuum breach in any section. The bridge has a pilot seat and 2 co-pilot seats, plus 2 manned turrets. The habitation section has a bathroom with a shower built in, plus lockers and gun storage. There is a small kitchen area and a table with chairs, although the table is not working at the moment. There are 4 beds that also function as escape pods, limiting the safe crew capacity to 4, or 5 if someone flies the snub fighter. There is an EVA port in the ceiling, and below it is an elevator with an airlock. The EVA port looks dangerous to have in the habitation area, as anyone could open it and leave the whole area in a vacuum, so I think CIG needs to rework that design a bit. Behind that is the cargo bay. There are ladders that go down into the bay. Just watch out if you have more than one person climbing the ladders at once. With desync, players might push others off and they can be injured. You can raise or lower the cargo bay for loading cargo or vehicles, although it's not as convenient as ships with ramps. The largest vehicle you can fit is an Ursa rover, and it's a bit of a tight squeeze, but anything else smaller will fit just fine, such as the Drake Mule, Tumbrel Cyclone, or any number of hover vehicles, or even the Grey Cat rock mining vehicle. On either side of the cargo bay are 2 docking ports to dock with stations or other ships, although the docking ports don't dock with anything yet. In the center above the bay are the missile reloading racks for the size 2 top missile launchers. You can actually observe the missiles loading and how many missiles are left. Behind the cargo bay is a small area for accessing the ship components and also functions as another airlock. Behind that is the room to access the Merlin. It docks into the floor of the room and you can get into the snub ship from here. When the Merlin undocks, it leaves a hole exposed to space, so make sure you have your undersuit on when entering that area. You can also dock the P-72 Archimedes in the snub bay instead if you have one. The Andromeda is the first ship CIG made that could carry a snub ship. In this case, the snub fits externally, not in a hangar, so the ship just sits off the back. The Merlin can detach and reattach in mid-flight or even when the Constellation is landed. The Kruger Merlin P-52 has 2 size 1 laser repeaters on the wings, a size 2 Gatling gun on the nose, and a size 1 shield. It has no quantum drive, but is small enough to be summoned at the Platinum Bay sites. The Merlin is great for scouting, harassing small nimble ships, and landing in difficult areas like caves. The Merlin has no cargo capacity or stowage space. It has a combat speed of 202 meters a second and a max speed of 1028 meters a second. It is also extremely maneuverable, but can be damaged easily with a small shield. The Constellation Andromeda is a great multi-purpose and multi-crew ship made for fighting. It has decent armor, heavy shields, and tons of guns and missiles. It is perfect as an escort ship for other ships, keeping fighters off your more delicate fleets. It can function as a blockade runner with all the defenses and cargo capacity. It can blast its way through any blockade. The Andromeda is great as a patrol ship since it has long-range facilities like a bathroom, kitchen, and beds. Plus it can dock with other ships with docking ports. You can also use it as an armored cargo ship or as a vehicle dropship in dangerous landing zones. Finally, as a gunship, it's great for attacking ground and fixed space locations with the large guns and numerous missiles. The Andromeda may not turn very well, but makes up for it with all the turrets that have excellent coverage, plus the gimbaled guns and tons of missiles. The main guns are great for taking down slower ships, but you should make sure to have people manning those turrets, otherwise smaller ships or torpedoes will get behind you and ruin your day, even with the large shields. The sheer quantity and combination of size 1 and 2 missiles means you can swarm the light and nimble fighters with the quick size 1 missiles, and take down the larger fighters with the more powerful size 2 missiles. The snub fighter also helps keep light fighters off your back, as long as you have someone free to fly it. Once co-pilots can fully control the missiles, then that'll help tremendously to make the Andromeda even more lethal so the pilot can focus on just flying and shooting, while the co-pilot fires missiles at multiple targets. But you might need a crew of 5 or 6 to handle it all. Orgs especially benefit from the Andromeda due to all the different purposes you can use it for. Having the Andromeda escort your other fleet ships works great against fighters, or you can have it scout ahead in dangerous areas, or resupply your other ships or ground crews in places most freighters couldn't go. It can be used for ground combat by dropping off Cyclones and Ursa rovers, or for mining with a couple of rocks. It's not as powerful as a Hammerhead for fighter defense, but much cheaper to buy and run. You can get quite a few Andromedas for the cost of one Hammerhead. The ship also blossoms well when you have enough people on board to run everything. It can be used by a single player, but not optimally. One thing to keep in mind is that it is a large ship. It turns slowly, and landing in hangars can be tricky. You also have to watch out for torpedoes from torpedo bombers. The VTOL engines help a lot on planets though, so don't forget to use them. Compared to other Constellation ships, it doesn't have a long range like the Aquila, or the large cargo bay like the Taurus, but has a lot more weapons than any of the other Connies. The Andromeda is one of the first wave of ships that CIG made, and it has undergone many changes over the years, both physically and in the stats. For example, CIG upgraded the medium shields to a large shield, and the ship was made a bit larger than it used to be. Textures were updated and the shape was improved. It will still need another update pass or two before it's fully finished. There are currently some strange design choices, especially in the living quarters and airlocks, so I hope they get addressed soon. The bathroom is set up weird and the kitchen doesn't work at all. Aside from that though, it's a great ship and I've always enjoyed flying the Andromeda. It's a fun ship to fly with friends, or orgs, and it's worth every penny. Alright, so that's it for the RSI Constellation Andromeda review. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested in jumping into Star Citizen, go ahead and use my referral code to get an extra 5,000 in-game credits to spend on anything you like. This month, you can also get a free Dragonfly if you use a referral code too. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons to get more videos. Let me know if you want me to review a particular ship or item. Check out my Patreon if you'd like to help me out. Okay, catch you all next time.